it's a big deal, everybody has. That's a minor little thing.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you all stand, I'm going to ask Brad Rogers to lead us in opening prayer, please.
God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this, the land of Logan that we live in. And God, I pray today, Lord, that you would just bless this nation that we live in, this county that we live in, the cities that we represent. And God, I pray, Lord, that you would send everything to us that we need to make this place even better. God, I pray that you'd give this group of magistrates the wisdom that they need to make the decisions to make this place even better. God, I pray, God, everything that we do is honoring to your name. We love you and want to serve you. It's in the risen name of Jesus that I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's call this meeting to order by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Man, that sounded good. That's glad to have all y'all in there.
There we go.
That sounded good. Better than just having 5 people in there, ain't it?
That was great. Thank you. First order of business is approve the minutes from the January 10th fiscal court meeting.
Judge, move to approve as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Yes.
Goodwin? Yes. Wilcox?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Crawford? Yes. Holden?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes. Bills, approved bills. Sorry, mine got out of order a little bit here. Approval of all bills.
Make a motion to approve the bill.
Have a motion?
We have a supplemental as well.
Yeah, it's a supplement. I forgot about that. There it is.
Bill list. Judge, I'll amend that to say in the supplemental bill list.
All right. I have a motion to approve the bills in the supplement bill list.
I'll second it.
I have a second. Do we have any discussion?
We have, I see more copper band bills. Are we working with Scott on that, trying to figure that out on the sheriff's office? And
I've gotten with, yeah.
okay.
Yes, yes. We are actually physically looking at that and working on the copper band to see what choices we have and what we can do with that.
All right.
But I do completely understand.
Thanks.
Any other discussions? All right, roll call, please.
Davenport?
Yes.
Goodwin? Yes. Wilcox?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Crawford? Yes. Holden?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes. All right, our favorite part, the treasury report.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
I have a couple of items for you this morning. The first thing I need to get approved is the budget transfers.
Move to approve budget transfers for $21,038.27.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport?
Yes.
Goodwin? Yes. Wilcox?
Yes.
Harper?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Holden?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
I do have 2 cash transfers for you today. We need to transfer $160,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Jail Fund. So what this is an actual cash transfer from one bank account to another. What this money will be used for is it's their current bank balance. Plus we'll have 2 payrolls before the next court meeting and utilities. And so that's how I arrived at the $160,000 figure.
Is it a scheduled transfer?
It is.
Okay. Motion to approve. 160K transfer.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And we need to transfer $65,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the 911 fund.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And then the last thing that I have, there's a copy of this report in the center of the table, but I also emailed it out to each one of you. It's the fiscal court's financial audit ending June 30th of 2022. I'm proud to report that it was a clean audit. We had no comments. We're very proud of that, and we just need to have that acknowledged.
So acknowledged.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any more discussion, please?
Well, thank y'all very much. It's always a big thing not to have any comments on an audit.
Thank
Good
you.
job for y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very proud of them for that. Very proud. I have no more discussion. Can I get a roll call, please?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And that's all I have for you today.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Roadwork request, District 1.
District 1, continue maintenance. So y'all got the, where's Kelly?
He's over here.
Oh, I see you now. The grinder head on the mower max, looks like it's working good. Appreciate everything. Thank you.
District 2.
Kelly's already got my flex road request, and he's already done my request that I've been sent from my people. Thank you. Everything's good.
3.
Kelly, I put on here about looking at about the overhanging limbs at the intersection of Kendracky and Buena Vista, which we'll talk about. But otherwise, thanks for all you do.
District 4, all roads look good, just continue maintenance. Thank you for all your hard work.
In District 5, we have some things that are ongoing. I think Barnett Road is one that you're in the process of, and I have mentioned another one, and my flex report will be to you by Friday.
District 6, continue maintenance. Thanks for everything, Kelly.
All right, thank you. Start with elected officials.
You got to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make a motion to approve road work request as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Tried to rush it through. I'm trying. Any more?
Crowd making him nervous. Second
I
meeting.
did. It's so many people. I got nervous. All right, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. That's good. I've got Olivia here to keep me on track.
She about through something.
She did. I thought she was going to come over there and get me in a minute. All right, elected officials now. Sheriff Stratton.
I don't have too much. I put in your packs a yearly statement on what we did for last year, so some information to look at. So we had a busy year, as you can see. So I didn't know if you had any questions.
Worthy of pointing out that was out of the ordinary,
No,
Sheriff, or just pretty much?
when I first came in, we only did lockouts on emergency basis type things. So when I came in, I started buying more kits. So we probably do 150 to 200 plus lockouts a year now. So
I don't know what a lockout is.
when you lock your keys in your car,
Oh, okay.
we can come unlock it for you. So it don't cost you $150 to get somebody to come do it. So that was something I was kind of proud of. It's To me, it may be minor, but I know a lot of people that get their car unlocked, they appreciated it. So just little things like that. As you can see, we try to work on the roads that we get complaints on, so I kind of gave you a little breakdown of that as well, but we're continuing to raise those numbers and try to be more present on the roads as you can kind of see where the activity spots are. So
Appreciate y'all and all the deputies and all the hard work, that's for sure.
but other than that, I just wanted to give y'all that. If you had any questions, if not, I'll wait till I'm on the agenda. I appreciate
West
it.
Third Street has 27.23 drug involvement. I mean, that's right here at the courthouse and the jail.
Well, that's where they serve paper sometimes, and that gets,
Okay.
because they use the address of where they serve the paper, so.
Okay.
I knew that might be a question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
'cause when I first saw it, I was like.
That's from Main Street. That's three blocks. Oh,
As a business owner, you might worry about
yeah, I would. I mean, I got the safest place in the county. I'm right next to the jail. Nobody messes with anything.
A lot of times when they write citations at the office, they just
Okay.
use
The jail's address. Yeah, okay, that makes
because
sense.
we have to GPS everything.
Yeah, okay.
That's why.
Like
Yeah, no.
30% of all drug traffic in 3 block area on Third Street.
Thank you, Sheriff. Stacy, do you have anything? Stacy Watkins, County Clerk.
I'm kind of like him. I'll wait till I'm on the agenda to beg y'all for money. So, not a whole lot going on. We are getting ready to, we're gearing up for an audit in February. Of course, we're full throttle in the elections already, coming up in May. We've had some trainings. We've got some software changes happening this year, so we're all gearing up for that as well. There's a lot going on down there, but nothing really to report. Do y'all have any questions for me? Anybody? Okay. If y'all need me, holler at me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Our jailer, Joshua Toomey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our count as of this morning, we have 96 county inmates and 72 state inmates. And when I say 72, not all of them are eligible. Some of them are on the county side that are.
Wait, no, reclassification?
Well, their classification is a higher number, so they're not eligible to go out like the restricted custody or the state side, the Class D side. They're not able to go out and work. However, I've been in communication with Mr. Nathan Cottrell with recycling, and we've got a couple out. We had them ready yesterday. However, they picked him up this morning. We've got a couple out working, and we're trying to get the litter abatement. I'm trying to touch base with all the mayors to get them the help that they've asked for too, that they had it prior. So
We appreciate you reinstating that, because that's really put a hardship on, especially, I know, Nathan, so.
yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Well, we're working with them. I've been in communication with the mayors, and we're trying to get them back out too. So that's what we're working on. We've done some restructuring. We've got a new person that's taking over Class D. She's learning a lot, and she's gung-ho and ready to go and trying to get those numbers growing. And we're working on the maintenance side, the plumbing side. We've got a company there as we speak that's been working diligently to get those showers fixed, to get those 2 30-man cells going on the Class D side. So we're waiting on some faucets, and as soon as those come in, we'll get that going, and we'll do some repairs on the other side that was up. They did have inmates in them, but they're still, I'm sure you've seen some leaks and some faucets that need to be replaced, but we're trying to get those numbers back up to get that the income coming back in that the county, relies on. But since the beginning of the year, since taking over, I've hired 6 full-time people. They've worked out great. We've had one young lady that had been here for about 6 months that was still listed as part-time status, but she was working a lot of hours. She's very dependable, so we've got her moved over, and I'm looking at some others, but we've got her moved over to full-time as well. Some other things in the works. I met with a gentleman with ESG. We're doing an energy study. We're having a hard time at times finding ballast, and the fluorescent lighting is not the optimal for energy, and of course, the lights are always on across the street, right? So we're trying to look at that and looking at maybe switching over to LED at some point. We've got a bunch of lights out, and it's sometimes the fluorescents are hard to come by. So we're working on that to try to improve morale and things at the jail and the staff interaction. We've added some nicotine back over there, making it available. We're getting a lot better interaction, less issues since offering that. So again, trying to keep the morale down, or morale up, I'm sorry. That's really helped out where it was down before, but that's really helped out, adding that. Another device that, meeting with my medical staff, something that we're going to be kind of on the forefront of technology, a new sensor that I'm looking at bringing in is very, very affordable. The state-of-the-art technology, but something new that I'll be touching base with you on that's coming into the country. It's been utilized in other countries and other facilities. It's been several years in the making, but what its capability of doing, of being put in a room, say for intox and detox purposes with an individual, it detects presence within immediately as soon as they enter that room, and there's a dashboard that my control officers can see in the control room, my medical staff can see, and the supervisors can see at the booking desk, and others can see on a tablet. So immediately detects presence within 30 to 40 seconds of scanning that individual. They will get a resting heart rate, movement, and respiratory rate. So that will indicate a normal range. As soon as that drops below, even if we're doing so many minute checks, if it's somebody we're on 5-minute checks due to medical reasons, or every hour we go and check on everybody, every hour on the hour. If they could be sleeping, but if their respiratory rate drops below that normal range, that will indicate an alarm, a sensor that will say, hey, this person needs to be checked on. If it saves one life, it's done its job. So that's something new that I look to share with y'all, but something we're trying to get going over there. So, but thank you very much.
Did you say you were replacing all the fluorescents with LEDs?
Not yet. We're doing a study right now. We're trying to look at going that route.
Because they last so much longer.
Yes, ma'am. And also the cost savings in itself. There's of course.
Yeah.
So that energy study is in the works.
I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes lighting, if you're in a room for a long period of time with certain lighting, mood, and I mean, for someone that has sat in the office for a long time, I mean, if you have certain lights, it could really affect your vision, and I'm sure those people will look into that, whatever.
Well, the LEDs are lots brighter too.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have any questions? Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Also like to thank Coach Howard with the Logan County High School. He's been very beneficial of working with Josh on some equipment that they're not using anymore, or that they're not going to be using, has offered that up to the jail to replace the non-functional exercise equipment and such.
Yes.
And some sporting equipment.
Yes.
I think it's great that you're getting the people back out there to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that the county, the people that like, I used to use them when I was at the water department, when I was in a bind. And
Yes, ma'am.
That really helps out more than people will know.
Yes, ma'am. And we're working with the cities to get them back out too in very near future. So,
Good.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ben, do you have anything? Ben Camplin Corner? Perfect. All right, department heads report. Let's start with Ginger. Do you have anything? Okay. Solid waste, Nathan.
Good morning. Did have in your court folders some folks that were inspected as recyclers, and we had one hauler. And the 3 recyclers, just as kind of a reminder, I do inspections with these guys every year just to make sure everything looks okay at their sites. Cumberland Scrap out on Morgantown Road. Glistening Auto, which is in Russellville, but their auto salvage yard is on Homer Road, and Ernie's Lawnmower Repair, which is off 79 North. And all those were inspected by me in this last couple of weeks, and they all checked out fine. For Scott Waste, they have a new hauler, and I have their information on a sheet I gave to you as well. They're called MPG Transport out of Clarksville. And so they pay the $500 fee and also would need approval from y'all. So if y'all are okay, we just need approval on those.
On everything together, the applications and the hauler, both at the same time?
I think they have to be separate.
Each one of these has to be separate?
I think you can do all the application as one, and the renewals probably as another one, I think is how we've done it in the past.
I believe that's correct, the recyclers.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 permanent applications that's been approved by our solid waste coordinator as presented.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Ford,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Make a motion to accept MPG Transport's application was approved by or recommended by our solid waste coordinator.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Just in the kitty, yeah.
Yes.
Wilco,
It just goes to the county.
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And Jay Ortumi's already touched on it, but I just want to say from our end, we greatly appreciate the help of the inmates. Greatly appreciate that. It's the first day, today is the first day in a long time, so we're definitely looking forward to picking up more cardboard. So, and I didn't have anything else unless there were questions.
Thanks, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nathan.
All right. I think that's about all we had as far as department heads. Let's switch to judges' announcements. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. You know how to make a guy nervous? No, you would act like it. Got a few announcements. The first one is we have reactivated the Logan County Fiscal Court Facebook page. Actually, got it updated and are starting to push information out as far as the meeting agenda, the Facebook link, the YouTube link for the meetings, all the information we can. If you can like and share on that, I think we're going to try to push every bit of information we can out that deals with the fiscal court there at this point, and we may look at other avenues soon. Lewisburg Rural Fire Department is holding their annual bean and ham supper on March the 4th at the Lewisburg Elementary School beginning at 4:30. I encourage you to go out and support them. Tourism is holding a 2-movie showing of By Parties Unknown on February the 11th at 1 and at 6. Tickets are required, but they are free to the public through the Logan County Tourism, which is right downstairs below us. And I believe that's all I have as far as that's concerned. All right, reports. Do we have any? I don't think we have any, do we? All right. Now the part that I believe most of you are here for, citizen participation. Please state your name when you come up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Richard Ewald. I live on Woodhurst Lane in the 1st District. Congratulations for being elected and re-elected to the court. Thank you for your service, past, present, and future. And thank you for the opportunity to address the court today. I promised Judge Baker I'd be brief, and I shall be. On November 30th, I put up a Facebook page to gauge interest and see if I was the only person in the county who wanted some sort of recreation facility. And as it turns out, I was not the only person. To date, there are 620 members of that Facebook page, and that number grows every day. Some of them are behind me today, and thanks for all your support. So what we're asking for is a facility similar to Ephraim White Park in Warren County. That park provides services over a dozen activities targeting all age groups. So what we're proposing is a 55,000 square foot gym situated on 125 acres in Logan County. That as soon as the gym portion would be complete, that would make available basketball, volleyball, pickleball, archery, cornhole, meeting rooms in the building. Then other activities could be incrementally added afterward, such as outdoor walking trails, cross-country trails, where teams and events could be hosted, picnic areas, ball fields, that sort of thing outside. And like I say, those could be added over time. So as I engaged my friends and neighbors about this, I heard too many times people say, wow, that would really be nice what you're describing, and we really need that. But that'll never happen here. And that makes me sad to have people who have lost hope that we can have something nice in this county, and we deserve something nice. But they don't have any faith based on, I'm sure, past decisions and past inactions. And I think we're in a spot that we can do something about that. So why not Logan County? I looked at some statistics, and Warren County is about 5 times the population of Logan County. But they operate 6 fairly major parks and a lot of smaller ones. The geographic area of Logan County is a tad bigger than the geographic area of Warren County. So why not? If they can put in 6 parks on the same acreage, why can't we put in 1? I think this county deserves it. I think a robust Parks and Rec program is not a nice to have. It's an integral necessity to a thriving and growing community. It's really not optional. If we want to keep our young families here in the county instead of them moving away, we have to give them something to hang their hat on. If we want to attract new families, when the companies bring in people from out of town and they go to work here, but then they move to Bowling Green and Springfield and Clarksville, that doesn't have to happen. We can provide what they need right here. This is a beautiful county. I've been here since 1988. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And so I think with some work, we can provide things that will keep people and make people want to live here. So I'm just asking, seize this opportunity. I think there's an opportunity right now that there's not been since I moved here. So I'm just asking you to seize the opportunity, and let's make a great place to live even greater. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your words, Mr. Ewald. We've had several discussions in the past several weeks, and just appreciate all of the support that you brought with you. And most people know that I am an advocate for more parks and recreation and more things for our youth and our people of all ages in our area. Shouldn't have to drive to Bowling Green to do those sorts of things, and we can definitely do better. And since I've been on court, this is the second time a large group of people have gathered and came to court and asked for something more. And at that time we did a study. We hired WKU to a team at West Kentucky University to do a statistical study. And that study showed, and another proof that people want more and we need more. The families need more, and like you said, it is an integral part of of just, you know, a community growing and just staying. If that's a very important economic piece, in my opinion, in a county, is to, we don't have to be, we can't be Bowling Green. It's just not possible. But we can have nice things. You know, we can have nice things, and we can have a rec center. My vision is a little larger than just a rec center. You know, I'd like to have a plan in phases to where, you know, we have maybe phase 1 is a rec center, but phase 2 would be walking trails, and phase 3 could be, you know, a clover ball fields, and, you know, just so on and so on. But we have to do it conservatively. We have to do it, you know, in respect of taxpayers' money, and I think we can do that. And you know, people are tired of stockpiling of taxpayer dollars, and they want to see something out of it. Okay, so it's good to have a stockpile, but at the same time, sometimes the people that don't break the law and spend taxpayer dollars in the jail, they want some. You know, people that don't break the law want something in return as well. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all, and I, you know, I'll continue to be an advocate for more parks and recreation as I have in the past. And I appreciate y'all being here.
Has there been a site that you've seen, sir? That
No, ma'am.
No?
We're really not to that point yet. I think you folks are probably in a lot better position to figure that out than I am. Obviously, something centrally located would be a good thing so that all parts of the county would be able to participate. People have just pointed out a few different tracks that might be available, but again, I'll yield to people with a lot more expertise.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like your phone number after this so we could contact you.
Yes, ma'am.
And we need to see if there's a grant possibility that would help.
I believe there are.
Yes,
ma'am.
I think so.
Thank you.
A couple of things that I would encourage the group to do. I've told you, Mr. Ewald, the most impact that the citizenry can have upon this government, and this is why I love county government, it's where the rubber hits the road, but the biggest impact that you can have upon this government is your presence here in this courtroom. I've told you this, and I want to tell all of y'all that. So when you leave here, trust me, every magistrate and the judge is fixing to get phone calls against it. It's just the way we work, you know. I mean, everybody has different opinions, and that's respectful, and you know, and that's what kind of things will boil up, and it's a great idea, and then all of a sudden you see the lack of anything moving forward. So you've got to be engaged. You can't come to this one meeting and we don't see you again for a year or two, and then somebody grumbles, why haven't you done anything? You know, you're welcome to come every single court meeting. I love to have you. I just love to hear all y'all singing the Pledge of Allegiance. That touched my heart. I'm going to tell you, that touched my heart. And so I encourage you, you know, maybe not all of you, but, you know, whenever you can, but absolutely every one of you, and I hope there's more next time you come. But you have to stay engaged. You have to make those contacts. I think the Facebook page is great, but you still need to make those personal contacts to your magistrates, you know, just asking questions, coming up here. Another thing that I like to, you know, obviously I'm a huge advocate for this. I have been for a long, long, long time. I will tell you that the plan that I would promote would be not just a building on 5 acres. It's going to have to be 125, 200 acres where we can develop a park that meets more than, some people like to play pickleball. Some people don't even know what pickleball is. You know, some people just want a place to go and sit and feed the ducks, okay? You know, and I get that, and I want to make sure if we're spending taxpayer money that we're not just capturing a niche group. So to do that, we need a real park, 125 acres or larger. And just to throw out some numbers to y'all, so I think if you'll ask most people in county government, hey, what are you spending per citizen on your parks and recs? You know, you're going to hear somewhere between $18 and $30 per person. If we spent $18.50 per person in Logan County, that's $520,000. Okay, I think that's a very conservative number. Just to put in perspective, which I do believe the fundamentals of government is to keep the citizens safe and protected. Number one, you can check that off the box. We do that very, very well with just these two departments over here. And, so it's not like we're not meeting that need. But we spend $220 per person funding those two groups right there. So to put that in balance, what we are doing, and that's just two departments. We spend $220 per man, woman, and child in Logan County to run the jail and the sheriff's department. We're spending, right now we have budgeted about $8 per person, because as you know, we have $250,000 per year going into a budget. We're on our third year right now. There's $750,000 in that, and that's a new thing. Before that, I'd hate to even tell you what that number was. It's probably cents, because we do contribute to all of the cities a little money, but that is, I'm drawing a blank on that number, but it's like $60,000, $70,000 total that we spend. So I'm 100% for you, but there's a little food for thought. Engage, be present. More will happen when you're sitting right there than the Facebook page will ever do. I promise you.
Absolutely, and to add to that, I agree with everything that's been said at this table today, because that was one of the things that as I was out door to door during my campaign, it's one of the things that I heard loud, and I agree with everything that's said. But with that being said, it's going to take time. This is not something we can do overnight. It will not happen overnight. It may take years. But I just ask that you continue your support of this court, and know that we are working for you. Anything else?
Wasn't the biggest problem in recent suggestions for this type of thing that I've read in the past was security for the area that we would have to provide? Was that not true? Seems like to me in the past that's what I've read.
I can't say I've heard that.
Security for the facility during build, security for the facility after build, and security as a 24-hour thing.
I can't say I've personally heard that.
No?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay. All right. Maybe not.
Well, if y'all representing anybody out there with some pockets that would like to make a donation,
Absolutely.
that'll get it going quick. Your corporate sponsorships, would also help moving that forward when a business or businesses out there want to get involved and make this happen. That's another thing. So if any of y'all still out there know an employer or a corporation that would like to get involved, send it the judge's way.
Absolutely. One other thing, Tyler, that report, do you have that? Do you have a copy of that?
I do.
Can you send that to me?
WKU?
Sure. The report you spoke of.
Yep.
Please, I'd like to see a copy of that too.
Judge, can I make one comment about security that you mentioned?
Yes, sir.
For what it's worth, Warren County Sheriff's Department has put a satellite office in Buchanan Park. So it's not manned full-time, but there's somebody there probably during the busiest times and maybe the times that they feel would be the most risk, and they can work out of there. So
Well, that was my comment. It wasn't Phil's. It's not his. That was my comment that I had heard. So I'm listening intently to your telling me about a satellite.
Right. I think we have a lot of options. We just need to really open our minds to some new thinking and some maybe a little different way of doing things. I think there's a lot of answers, a lot of questions. There's a lot of answers.
So in the past, I think what I've heard as far as maybe failure would be lack of plan, not a plan in place. You can say, yeah, we want to do this, and yeah, but as far as getting industry and if someone wanted to put some support, monetarily, you're going to have a plan. A large organization isn't going to just give you money without a plan. So I think if you have somewhat of a preliminary plan, and I think that'll really push it. And I think that's something we can work,
Absolutely.
work with the new judge on, and the new magistrates will just, try to get a plan in place. anything, you know.
Absolutely. And with my past experience with the school systems, that's an easier step to do. It costs. I'm going to be upfront. Anytime you put an architect or an engineer on top of it, the number goes up. But that is something we can definitely look at, and it's something I'm actually excited to look at. All right. If there's no other
Suggestions on land, send it our way. I mean, we've been looking not a long time, but a while. And so if you know a place that you think would fit the bill, please come on up, sir.
Yes, sir. Come on up.
My name is Cedric Evans. I'm here on behalf of the support of the Recreation Center. I used to be a high school. Cedric Edmonds.
Cedric?
Yes, ma'am. I used to be assistant coach at Russellville High School. I also have a travel basketball team, which I have Logan County kids and Russellville kids combined. I have a great support base from both sides. I truly believe that that would be a wonderful thing to have. I've traveled to Bowling Green. Greenville has one. Bowling Green has them. Hopkinsville has one. Why can't we have one? I shouldn't have to travel to Russellville, Bowling Green, anywhere to play in a tournament when we possibly could host one here. Bring tremendous amount of money, jobs to the people in Russellville, full-time, part-time, to help run the facility. I've been doing this for 4 to 5 years, and everywhere I go, our parents say, how come Russellville can have this? And I do believe that that would be a tremendous thing to have. I'm in the process myself of hosting AAU tournaments, probably looking around April. And I would love to host one here, to bring the community of Russellvillians, Logan Countyans together as one, and just be a happy city. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Did you say 45 years of work?
No,
45 years old, yeah.
I was thinking,
No,
that's
ma'am.
amazing.
No, ma'am. Also, I work at Walmart, and this is for all elderly people. Every morning, I work night shift. Every morning, there's 2 to 3 walking around in Walmart to get exercise. They shouldn't have to do that. They should have a facility that they can go to walk around in and just enjoy themselves and be comfortable and not have to walk around, thousands of people walking around there shopping, and you see somebody just walking around. I look at them every morning like, you shouldn't have to be here. You should be in a great facility and enjoying yourself. Thank you for letting me share.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'd like to say thank you once again to every one of you, and we're going to go ahead and move on with our meeting. Next order of business is old business. Do we have any old business to discuss? All right, if none, let's move on to new business. First one on the agenda is acknowledgement of the county clerk's 2022 calendar year final settlement. You should have that in your packet.
January to August is kind of questionable, wasn't it?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Scotty.
Morning, Court. Judge, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be on the agenda today for a few minutes. Fiscal Court, I'd like to welcome the new members to the court. Thank you for your service. Today I'm here to present to you the final settlement from calendar year 22 from January 1 through July 31. This was prepared by Gabby Hayes, who was my bookkeeper. He was there for 23 years, so I'd like to thank him for putting this together for me today. So I'd just like to present this to the court to be acknowledged, or to be approved for those fees. And I'll have to put that in the newspaper for Friday, so you will see a bill coming across for that publication. So just want to make the court aware of that, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion second. Is there any other discussion on this item? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Milka,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you, Judge. And there will be an audit. Just know there's one more step to that. There will be an audit sometime between now and June, probably, so, on this appropriation. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Next item on our is open bids for the remount of Med 7, for the Logan County Emergency Medical Service. We have 2 bids here. Excuse me. We actually got 2 bids this time. First one is from SIV.
Those of y'all that came, I mean, you're welcome to stay, but don't feel obligated. Anytime y'all want to leave, you can, and you're not going to disrupt court. But please stay and see how court operates. We're fixing to remount an ambulance here, so.
We should start at the front. Once again, thank everyone for coming out.
So this was in my thing. Okay. My bad. Okay.
First quote from SIV is $145,909. $145,909. Our next quote is from Select Tech.
What's the name of that company?
SIV. Select Tech is $155,267.95.
Okay, 155, 267.
And 95 cents.
You'll come up here.
We definitely we'll want to get them to.
Are you here?
Yeah, please come up and.
Morning. Morning, Judge.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Would like to point out also that we reached out to other vendors who declined to place a bid, and I brought copies of that correspondence for the record just in case we want those. Chassis, they're just hard to come by, and so several of the vendors just declined to put in a bid.
We got 2 bids.
Yeah, it was just 2 bids. One's from SIV, the other one's from.
They have, yes, sir.
Have we,
Select, is it
have
Select
they
Tech?
won bid before?
Yes, sir. Select Tech is our primary vendor up in historically.
Okay.
Okay.
And if it pleases the court, I don't mind to take those bids and step away because there's several pages of data there and just make sure that they meet our bid spec.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I guess we can
Yeah, we like.
move
John
on,
and
let
them.
them check it
Yeah, let
out.
John and them.
Yeah, I don't want to hold up progress, but there's a lot to look through there.
Yeah, make sure that
What
they're
was
covering
this
everything
money?
that we need.
AC?
Yes, sir.
SIV.
SIV, what was it?
145,909.
150, 45 or
Yeah,
145, and then Select Tech was
Pass it
155.
down here before you let that go. Look at it.
I'm going to just write the amounts.
That's
I don't have time to read this
Yeah,
one.
SIV is 145,909.
And Select Tech was what?
155, 267, 95.
Get my numbers. So 10,000 difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 10,000 on here. Select Tech was 155K.
but you know, they could be providing 10
So
more.
do you have SIV now?
Stuff that
Have
doesn't.
they done something?
They've bid before, but they've never won a contract with the county that I'm aware of, no,
SIV is
sir.
145K.
You say we haven't done, neither one of these have done work?
Select Tech has been our primary vendor the last few times. SIV has bid before, but they've never won a contract with the county that I'm aware of.
I would check on
You want to see that?
lead time.
Absolutely, that's a
one of the
huge
big
concern,
ones.
yeah, especially considering our
Since
grant funds.
We're
and-
this close.
and
I mean,
things like
we're-
that.
It's close enough to where.
Sure. Main thing is to go through and kind of make sure there's not a large ticket item that
Absolutely.
that one vendor's missing and the other's not,
Yeah,
or
if
something like
if
that.
it's okay with the court, we'll let them go over those, then we'll come back to this item.
Wants to go over it.
Once he goes over and checks everything and compares.
While we're waiting, I would like to say thank you to Jailer Toomey. We had one of our paramedics was injured in the line of his duties the other day, and he helped us out and supported us on that. So I do want to just officially say how much we appreciate working with you.
Absolutely.
Timmy's all right. I don't care what strategy.
I'm telling you, he's all right.
Leaving him like a, leaving him short, making him man short.
Friends like these, hey, sure.
Yeah.
He still tries to spot you, doesn't he?
Does well, he paying you again, though.
Double dipping.
What office is that?
It'll be the clerk's office. They're in charge of it.
So that was up here. Oh, how that got there?
I don't know.
Hopefully, next meeting, we will eliminate most of this paperwork. We have the iPads, we have, everything's being set up, so maybe we can at least save the forest of a few trees. But if you want to take a look at those, and we'll call you back up in a minute when you're ready.
Thank you.
All right, item 3 is open bids for new utility vehicle police cruiser for the Logan County Sheriff's Department. It looks like we only received one bid for that.
Don Franklin.
Yeah.
And this bid is from Don Franklin Chrysler out of Somerset for $42,205. It is a Durango, sorry. All-wheel drive Durango with the V8.
String of burglars all the way around this, and they hit Yates Pharmacy. But they didn't get nothing. And then all of a sudden, this happened. So, but they got leads on that. The pharmacy robbers, because Hot Town has license plate readers at intersections. So they went through and did a bunch of, they all networked. And they actually think they got some suspects on that. That was a professional gig.
Excuse me.
They did.
Sometime. I mean, like, so it could be 5 people.
Yeah. I mean, they knew what they were doing and was prepared to do what they did.
Oh, okay. I think the cost is actually $37,971.
I'm sorry, I looked at the bottom line.
Yeah, well, I would have.
That's the way it
The
shows.
next page has a bid for January 12, 2023 for 2022 Dodge Durango V8 options per POC, $37,971. That's some.
Yeah.
So what's the other one say? I thought it was
Those V6
Well,
cars.
in the front page just kind of lists, I think,
The options on it.
like if you were 42,205.
Well, that back bid's our state contract price. So
Yes.
that may be walk-in customer.
I think that's like walk-in customer price, and then the actual bid for that is $37,971.
37.9.
37,971.
Is that just, are you just doing one to replace the record?
Yeah, to replace the record, yeah.
I don't know about lead time on those.
Does he have it sitting there ready, waiting on a check?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is this the one that got rear-ended on the side?
On the bypass, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he had a few left in stock, he said. So he said if the bid got approved, that we could pick up. So if we can make the motion to pay today, we can go ahead and start that process.
And this is to replace the one that was totaled.
Yes, that's to replace the one that was involved in the accident that got hit.
Yes.
Is it a SUV or a car?
SUV, Durango.
It's an all-wheel drive.
We have to
Durango.
do generic bids on it, but it's a Dodge Durango. So.
That 42,205 is the MSRP.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from Don Franklin Chrysler for $37,971 for a 2022 Dodge Durango and allow the judge's office to issue payment immediately.
I think transfer the funds to do so, maybe.
Transfer the funds to do so.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
So it's ready to go.
Well, it'll have to go to the equipment shop and get equipped, but I mean, that's the next process.
Okay. If no other discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Thank
Baker.
you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff.
You're up next too, Sheriff.
I think we already,
This is a recap.
yeah, I think we already did that, didn't we?
Have we?
The recap for the year, fee report.
This is acknowledgement of the Logan County Sheriff's Department 2022 calendar
That's what I was looking
year fee recap.
This is what we did for the whole 22 year.
That's courthouse funds.
I got a cheat sheet, so I have to double check. I don't even see that on there.
Very bottom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get $10 for every civil paper that we serve. For when people pay attorneys or whatever, there's civil papers that we serve, it's a $70 charge, and 60 of that goes back, but we keep 10. So it's basically $10 off each paper we serve.
You served a few.
Yes, we do. That when you mentioned earlier, one of the things on that sheet I had showed put in your packs is it shows a lot of the we had 13,900 something calls for that year, and a lot of that's criminal charges, but we also serve 3,000 plus papers on top of answering calls. So I mean, so there's a criminal process and a civil process that we're in charge of as well. Transporting prisoners, we get a fee for that, which it takes a lot of time and things like that. So that's what that $10 comes from us. So when people say we pay you to $70 to serve papers, we actually only get $10 of that process, but the rest goes back to the court. Is that right?
Yeah. It's divvied up, and I'm not exactly sure where all it goes, but like when you file a court action, you'll have court costs, and those get divvied out to various sources as well.
Okay, so that's done by you.
Well,
it's done through the court's AOC, it's through AOC.
Has passed laws, and then certain things get attached here. But.
Okay.
And we don't set that fee. The court system sets the service fee. So.
Okay.
Make a motion to acknowledge the Logan County Sheriff's Department 2022 calendar year fee recap.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. The next is approve the request for proposal from the county clerk's office for e-poll books to be used during elections.
I think it should be in your folder. It's something like this. It's no ink at the top. Yes, ma'am, that's it. New members of the court or new magistrates, I apologize. I have been trying to kind of pave the way. I mean, we've known this was coming for a while. I had the old court ready for this and prepared for this. I think Scotty's probably, said something about it as well. We are being forced to send back the e-poll books, which an e-poll book is the iPad. When you go to vote, you show them your ID right as you first go in. Those have to be sent back, the ones that we currently have. We are no longer allowed to use them. They may extend it out a little bit, but this year those have to go back. We are being forced into buying new ones. So this is a quote from one of the vendors, and the one that I would like to use, and my the County Board of Elections would also like to use.
How long have you had these that they're having to be sent back?
Scotty, how long? What year did we got them in? 15, 16?
They're about 8 years.
So being sent back isn't understood?
Ma'am?
Being forced to be sent back, you said?
Yes, ma'am. They passed a law. Yeah, we cannot keep the ones we have.
Okay.
So we ultimately have to probably send these back?
Yes, more than likely, we will be on some type of contract with them, and yeah, of course, I mean, yeah, I'm sure. The thing is, if I can get your approval on this, I can get the equipment reimbursed from the state through grants. I cannot apply for those grants if I do not have fiscal court's approval. So basically, that's what I'm needing. It's not an if, and, or but. I have to get new ones.
Probably because those iPads can't be updated any longer, probably.
Probably,
possibly. The iOS on it probably can't be updated any longer. That's probably why they weren't making everybody get rid of them.
Yeah, come on up. You can tell them where I can. Your version will be shorter than mine, I'm sure.
So these pads were bought under Secretary Grimes in her last administration when we started going to the technology of going from paper ballot rosters to the technology of iPads. So fast forward 8 years later, these pads are at the end of their life, and because of the updates, there is $12.5 million that was approved by the legislature for reimbursement. That includes voting equipment, which you guys saw $50,000 in the last budget cycle that came back to you. They had to spread that money out. There's $12.5 million like in the current budget biennium that will be for equipment. Now there's a few counties that still like a voting equipment. Of course, we have our new one, but towards these poll pads, they will reimburse you on that. This will be under a state bid. There is a state RFP out there that has not come back as of today. So they're kind of operating, the whole state is kind of operating under, there's 4 vendors in the state that has been approved by the State Board of Election. One is No Ink, 10X, which is the current that we have been using. Then there's ES&S, and then there's another one that came on board recently into the state that just got approved.
So this is like a state contract, we can use them without having to get other
Yes.
bids? Okay.
I'm under the impression we will not have to go through the bid process because it is a state contract.
Okay.
And time is of the essence.
It is.
So the quicker that the fiscal, one of the requirements is the fiscal court has to approve what Stacy is requesting today in order to be eligible for reimbursement.
Right.
And you have to get the order in so that you can be guaranteed to get those things into place. She can have time to get them into her office, training on staff and the poll workers.
Set up, all the kinks worked out.
I mean, we still have to approve it to be in the budget.
That money's not in the budget.
It's not in the
No, the money is not in the budget.
Did you give us an approximate price?
It's on here. We're looking at close to $50,000 for the initial cost, and that's going to include the first year of maintenance and warranties and all of that. After that, I think I did the math on it last night. We're looking at between $7,000 and $8,000 a year to maintain it. The state used to pay that. SBE, I believe they handled the maintenance and warranties and things, and the internet connection through 10X. They were in charge of making sure we had all of that. That is all coming back on the county now. All the counties are now going to be responsible for their own election costs. So, is that correct? Did I say that right? I thought so.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir. But I mean, we have to have elections.
Of course, from a county and a board standpoint, you have to look at the security plan also and aside of the poll pad. So there's supplemental rosters that have been in the past. Even when we were using these 10X iPads, we had to use a paper supplemental roster. So that's gonna come into the new ones, the technology, to where you can, like if someone moves, let's say they move from Adairville to Thomas's district, they would be eligible to sign a supplemental roster with authorization from the clerk's office, and they would be able to vote that day. But they have to sign a supplemental because they're not going to be in the roll that was closed 30 days prior. So there's a security component to this also for the court to think about.
There's no ballots cast on this equipment. I do want to make that clear. There are no ballots being cast on this equipment. This is just the roster to make sure, yes, you are eligible to vote. Yes, this is the district you're in. Yes, this is the ballot you get. But it's the only thing connected to the internet.
One of the things to add with this technology that wasn't in the previous technology is when you go to the poll, a voter goes to the poll and signs in, included in this bill, there will be a printer it's an identifier of the ballot that they get. Okay, so it takes out errors. When you have poll workers that are in the past, we've had them in the precinct. We would give them we would actually write down a number, let's just say, of the ballot face that they got. in this technology and the current system you're proposing, it would print out from the iPad to the printer that'll be connected to that
This is the ballot you
that they would
get.
hand to the ballot judge to give them the correct ballot. So you remove a lot of that error.
Correct.
Which is more of a security on your ballot process.
I know you probably remember in the general when you went to vote, you went in and you checked in and they handed you what looked like a Post-it note and they wrote that on there, and then you took that over to another table and they gave you your ballot. There was over 52 ballots this time. There is a lot of room for error in that. So we are very excited about this new technology.
Is this the only company that?
There are 3 others, but I will tell you why this is the one the majority, 80% of the state is going to use. Their customer service is closed. The one we have now, they're down in Florida. These guys are actually partnered with HARP, who is our election vendor. They handle all of our machines, so they're going to be tied in with them. They're going to be able to provide us better.
HARP's local.
They're not like next door. They're not in Bowling Green, but they are closer.
From Kentucky.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we will have to produce payment and then we'll get reimbursed. So we will have to write a
Correct.
check.
It will have to, I'm assuming the general fund, I'll need you guys to pay for it. I'm sorry.
You have to transfer the money from one of the appropriated accounts over into election. We got a line item called election something.
They have a voting machines and we would probably have to transfer it into that line.
Is it doable, Amanda?
Would expend.
Okay.
They're 7,500
amazing. She can
unless
just
it's
turn
been
to
raised.
Amanda and say,
There's like
"Is it doable?"
7,500.
Amanda, can I have it?
I think the biggest thing that Stacy has made adamant to me is the quicker we get this in, the quicker we get reimbursement on this funding, so.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the poll pads from No Inc. for a total of $48,385 and to allow payment and transfer the funds from occupational tax to the proper line item for the clerk's office.
I do want to make it clear that we're looking at yearly maintenance, warranty, and things like that. We are looking at between $7,000 and $8,000. I will be, when it's time to talk budget talks, I'll make sure to add that in. We won't have that this year, but we will have that next year. We'll have to start taking care of. Did you say it?
He made a motion, so let me second that.
Okay.
Second.
It is just a quote. What if it comes in a bit higher? Am I going to have to go through all this again?
That was an estimate.
Yeah,
This is an estimate?
yes, this is pricing guaranteed for 60 days from date of quote. Based on your stated requirements, we propose the following. Yeah.
I mean, we can adjust
Say
the final
50,000.
number if
Good.
time the ship comes. I mean, that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
I bet you it's pretty.
48 something.
It'll be fine? Okay,
It's a
okay.
state, it's a state bid.
Okay.
But even it not being, it being under 30,000, that gives us more leeway too, so.
Okay.
It's not under 30,000.
It's over. It's 48.
48.
Almost 50.
But it's on the state contract.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, any more discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Thank you,
Thank y'all
Stacy.
so
Thank
much.
you, Scotty. Thank you both.
Same thing.
It'll be a total, they're gonna get 27.
We're going to hit one more discussion, and we're going to take a quick recess, if that's all right. Discuss the county coroner's request for equipping his personal vehicle as well as the coroner's office vehicle with red and blue lights, as well as a siren. Ben, you got anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, this is a requirement. KRS 189.920 states that every time you have a change in the office of coroner or the person as coroner, this request has to be made to equip the vehicles with lights, that being personal and or the coroner's vehicle itself. And I have to get your approval. I have to request the color of lights. And just in case you're wondering, I checked with the surrounding counties what color lights they all run so that we could, be in compliance or not compliance, but be in like with the surrounding counties. So you see that. So this is my request. Do y'all have any questions?
Your request is for blue and red.
Blue and red, yes. No, it's
I mean,
not.
I think our current, the coroner's vehicles are equipped with blue and white.
It's equipped with
But
blue and white.
I agree with the blue and red. I mean, I think I think that blue, just kind of public signifies that, somebody that's been through rigorous training, a police officer or whatnot. But I do think that you need to be able to get through and get to a scene and whatnot, so I mean,
Well, the statute suggests it be blue and red.
Yes.
But you all could vote it to be yellow or red or green, any color you choose,
I was
basically.
under the impression that red is signified medical technical possibilities, but in this is a corner, so.
I think maybe the both is what would
Yeah.
distinguish that.
Blue and red.
That's
And
what I
also-
meant, but the medical, it's okay to put that on a corner even though it's not gonna be medical.
Well, I mean, if
Yes.
put in the statute that he can ask.
Fire
for that.
departments are red
I would
as well.
also say that it's blue and red,
Yeah,
which
but
is
fire
going to be
department has to have medical.
different.
Okay.
And
Right.
the statute also limits what purposes he can use it for, and they're all of his official duties. And I would say he will be borderline medical in that situation because he will likely be there with a lot of first responders. so-
Medical circumstances.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay.
Statute requires him to know speed limit, he can't break the speed limit, he can't,
Right.
Can't pull
No, I
anybody
He can't pull
over.
anyone
pull
over.
anybody over.
Yeah, right.
All this is a request, so, yeah.
I'm supposed to adhere to all of the posted traffic laws. This doesn't give me the right to, I'm running late to get home for supper, I can't throw the lights on and speed off to Auburn, which anyone who knows my family would know I would never be speeding home for supper. Somewhere else, because we eat out about every meal.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the request from the county coroner for use of blue and red lights pursuant of the Kentucky Revised Statute 189.920, Section 11, Section A, whatever.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Just,
Yes, sir.
just a little background, a long time ago when I first came on court, that was a big deal about who can run lights and what color and all that stuff, and the legislator was getting wore out, and they just didn't want to deal with it, and they sent it back. This is before this statute right here. They sent it back to counties for you to deal with it yourselves. We did not have a problem. Other counties were having a problem with constables, just maybe overstepping their constitutional authority. And so, we made a decision and passed a motion years and years ago, and that still stands to this day, of who can run lights. And we have limited that to our law enforcement only. Because when we as a body give someone the authority to run lights, we take on their liability. There is no question that Ben is working under the authority of this governing body. Okay, so we don't give anybody else that leeway to do that.
Right.
If they do it, they're not working under our authority. Does that make sense? So they go out there and they pull somebody over and do something stupid. They can't come back to us and say, well, you gave them the right to do that. We did not. We gave the sheriff's department and we gave the jail and Ben. These are people who are properly trained and now running under, state statutory requirements. So, we don't pass those out, and we shouldn't be passing those out. From a father who raises all girls, I have instructed my children. You pull over for blue, crack the window, you get proper identification. That will not make any properly trained law enforcement officer mad whatsoever. Any other color, you pull over, you get out of the way. If they pull up behind you, you get back on the road, you turn your flashers on, you call 911. Nobody except for blue should be pulling over anybody, okay? You can ask them to get out of your way, but don't pull up behind my daughters, because my daughters are going to get back on the road and going to call 911, okay? So, I take that very seriously, and so, if anybody else comes to court wanting to know, can I run blue and red and green and purple lights, the answer, I will tell you, is going to be a hard no from me.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Absolutely.
I would just say one thing to clarify, and I agree with everything Thomas said.
I think the difference here, because some of those people are actually law enforcement officers, but you're specifically talking about our trained police officers with the PD and the sheriff's department. And I would echo what he said of voting against that from a liability perspective, and it's only going to get even more of a risk if you were to pass that. There are still a lot of counties that do allow that. They have recently passed legislation that constables that are elected after, or that are sworn in this cycle here, will no longer have that law enforcement authority. Most of our constables do have law enforcement authority, but they exercise it well by just being good stewards to the community and not going out, because they are not trained at the academy and certified like Ben is going to be when he starts using this, and like everybody, Steve and Josh and Todd at the PD give. So just from a liability perspective, I think limiting it to those specific agencies, that's what my recommendation is, and I'm saying that to back you up and hopefully not have more requests.
Absolutely.
So just to clarify, too, constables in Logan County aren't allowed to do that.
Can't run blue lights.
They can't run blue lights. They're a first responder. They'll run red and white, or amber and white.
I mean, they do have law enforcement authority, but again, they do exercise that well. I don't remember in my time being a prosecutor here having a case with a constable, and I appreciate that, because if I had one, I wouldn't want to hurt somebody's feelings if there were problems with it. So I would give it more scrutiny, just because there is a great deal of liability attached to it. But again, our constables here that are in office now, they do a good job, and I appreciate and respect them, and they're just trying to do good and not actually be a
large and in charge.
Yeah, pulling people up.
All right, I've had a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion on this?
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilfett,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, well, let's take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back here at 10:20. All righty, let's, see you, Nathan. Thank you. Let's continue, please. Okay, let's go back up to item number 2 of the open bids of the Med 7 remount. I believe they've looked over the bids and are ready to make a recommendation.
Back to number 2.
Back to number 2, where we was doing a remount of the ambulance.
Oh.
Deb, have y'all met John yet? Doesn't he?
Not yet. I'm actually in your area, ma'am. Good to meet you.
Where do you live?
That little strip on 68 on your way out of town, there's that row of 4 or 5 houses right before 73.
Yes.
I live in one of those.
Well,
What's your last name?
welcome.
Holder.
Holder.
Yeah, good to meet you all. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully,
What's your title now out there?
I'm the CEO of
CEO.
ComCare, and then Miss McElvain there is the director of our Logan County
Okay, now
operation.
tell me your name again. I'm gonna
John
ask-
Holder, Holder. And I try not to bother y'all as much as
CEO of
possible.
ComCare.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You've looked over the bids.
We have, sir, and there are 4 main differences between the 2 bids, and I'll just kind of outline those. In our estimation, we both read over it, and I actually spoke in person to both vendors as well to confirm these differences. So the Select Tech bid includes the stretcher and the mounting hardware for that stretcher. SIV does not. We would have to purchase that separately and send that to them. So they do not include the stretcher nor the mounting hardware for that.
Where the $10,000 is made up, pretty much.
Well, more than that. That was one of the questions I had, and then they said we can send you figures if you'd like, but roughly the cot mount itself is $7,500, and the stretcher's roughly $2,300, and they told me those were conservative numbers. So if you take that into account, the Select Tech bid actually has a greater value. Now, on the SIV side of things, the delivery stated in their quote was 60 to 90 days, whereas in Select Tech, they said it could be up to 24 months. And I said, is that an accurate lead time? He said, well, we wanted to give you a conservative estimate. He said, but yeah, don't expect chassis availability to be much better than that.
So, I mean, is that 60 to 90 days? Is that an exaggeration, or?
He told me they have a chassis on hand and we're getting ready to start right away. Again, that doesn't include the stretcher or the mount, however, so.
Does that have a lead time, or is that pretty readily available?
Those 2 items would be fairly readily available.
But with that being said, if you add, that will make both bids real close to being even, from my math in my head there.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think we need to be waiting 24 months.
Negative, I agree.
You can go with the low bid unless you tell me something that else is wrong, but, and we can buy that through another bid that, hey, send us a bid for the cot and the mount.
But the
Yes, sir.
SIV, are they the 30, 90 days, or are they the 24 months?
They're the 60 to 90 day.
I mean,
It's a
60.
low bid, it's a low
SIV.
90 days.
Yeah,
I read
not
that's what it was.
including,
Looking
yeah.
at availability
Is that
when I was
your-
reading it.
is that
They
your
have it
recommendation?
now.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. The lead time, I mean,
Select Tech's
I wish it was more
taking it
clear cut. It's
They have it.
significantly cheaper, but you'd have to wait.
Well, we're
At
already,
least over a
we're
year.
already behind the ball.
We are, and another consideration, just for the court's information, is our grant funds have to be spent within a certain time frame, and so if you're waiting, if you don't spend it, we'd have to do something different with that grant, that money as well. So
So it's pretty clear cut what we're
it's
gonna
a-
have to
Yeah.
go with.
Let's rock
Is that
and
what
roll.
you were gonna recommend?
it's a tough
No, it
call.
was not.
It's a tough call.
Recommend on staying with the vendor that we're currently using, but
It's
we
a
can't
tough
wait
call.
24 months.
No, sir.
You know.
With the amount of mileage that we're putting on these ambulances, I think it would be a detriment to wait 2 more years, unfortunately.
So Select Tech's who we have now.
That's
That
what we're
is,
using it
that's
for.
who we've used in the past. You know, we always put these out for bid, but, I mean,
Okay,
both
I'm
companies
making
have,
sure I
have
understand
bid, but Select Tech is one, the last bid.
Is your hesitation more on just familiarity?
It is, and a little bit of the cost. The cost was a little bit higher than maybe I was anticipating, but from what I'm told, just the cost of raw materials has gone up so much, this is to be expected. It's just,
Wasn't our last remount like $90,000?
yes, sir. It was indeed, yeah. That's why I was a little taken aback by the cost, but,
What's your phone number, if you don't mind?
yes, ma'am. It's okay, I'll come a little closer, so maybe not everybody can.
No, no, no. I won't be. Well, I may, but I've had some questions today.
Sure.
that
Put
I
that
was
in
gonna wait
bold
a
on
minute.
YouTube. Absolutely. Yeah, give me a call anytime.
Can we get that printed
So-
on YouTube?
Is this
Yeah,
the first
probably.
time that we went to a 7.3 gas?
It is. We have neighbors who have had 7.3 gas motors who, they're not that old, so it's hard to tell what the longevity of that motor would be. I've gotten good reports back so far, but this will be the first time that we've had one of those in Logan County, yes, sir.
But they both quoted the 7.3
Yes, sir.
gas.
Yeah.
And is all of the other units diesel?
That we have now? We have some gas units now, they're just not the 7.3.
They're the V10.
So you have gas and diesel?
We have, yep, and they've proven me wrong. When we went from diesel to gas, I thought this is a mistake, but it's not. They've held up very well.
The improvements lately.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Very impressive.
Yes, sir.
So, first question is, what do we have budgeted for a remount this year? Okay. No, I was just curious, I mean, did we budget?
We probably didn't budget 150 because it was 90 the last time.
And I can't remember if we budgeted that 2 years in a row and had any carryover dollars in that line item. So, because we didn't do one.
Right.
Year before last, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Do we want to get some questions answered before we?
No, that's okay. It's not it's irrelevant. No, I think we move forward.
Okay.
I mean, we should do it. I shouldn't say we gotta do it, but, it's gonna be a whole lot cheaper than going out and buying a new ambulance. We know that.
It's a very valid point.
So, I mean, and I also think when we pass the motion that, we give the judge the leeway to purchase the cot, mount, and stretcher.
Yes, sir.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's got to be done immediately so they can get it all.
Yes, sir.
What's a conservative budgetary number on that, like?
10,000.
What I was,
10,000, what's 10,000?
7,500 on the mount and 23 on the cot stretcher.
So if we say up to 10,000.
So it'll keep it right at the,
No, yeah, 23,000 on the stretcher and 7,500 on the mount.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
23,000?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you said 2,300.
I did, yeah.
Apologies.
I
My
did.
apologies. Yeah. 23,000, excuse me,
I was
and
fixing to say,
7,500 on the mount.
It's a Stryker brand.
It is indeed,
They're
yep.
like $10,000 used.
They're pricey items, and that's why I hesitated to, when you were like, what's your recommendation? I was like, I don't,
So wait a minute, I gotta go back to my thought process.
Sure, sure.
That's 33,000.
yes, yes,
So,
sir. That's the difference.
So now we're,
No, it's 30,000, some change.
but now we're 40,000 different.
Yeah, and you're saying the other
No,
bid
30,000.
includes that.
So the Select Take bid does include that number, yes, sir.
Thomas got 85,000.
So.
How much in the budget?
85.
Well, we can buy the cot.
Just to be clear, we don't set any of these prices.
Man, I just need a firmer delivery date from.
Did you call them?
That makes
I did.
Select Tech
Looks a little
cheaper.
better. Yeah,
Well, it
it
makes
does.
them cheaper.
It does.
Significantly
It
cheaper.
absolutely
They're
does.
cheaper by,
Do we
It
want
does.
by $20,000.
Yes, it does. Because it's only 10,000.
I can-
We've got the money to do it.
In the meantime, I could get you legitimate quotes on the cot mount, and official, quotes on the cot mount and the stretcher, if that would help, and then try to narrow down a closer lead time.
I don't know if
What's
you're allowed.
what's the dates that those bids are good for? Do
30
they have
days.
a 30, 60 day?
30.
30 day?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if he's allowed to do this or not, but I would get back on the phone and be like,
Select Tech.
we're fixing to make a decision, but your lead time's gonna knock you out of it. I don't know.
He can do
He
anything
can
he
do
want
that.
to. Yeah, he's not courting.
I'll do, I'll do whatever the court's
If
pleasure.
they tell
And
us
we can do that.
we
Judge
can't,
can't do it, but we can.
you know, if they say, no, it's 24, we need that 24-month cushion just in case, then I mean,
Yeah, it's 20,000, it'd be $20,000 more.
but they put so many miles on it in 24 months, we're gonna be needing another one.
Sure, we roughly put around 30,000 annually on each unit. We try to spread that out, of course, and so, well, I can't guarantee that. It's based on run volume. Traditionally, we've done a hair over 30,000 miles annually per unit.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we table decision on the bid to allow John to answer more of these questions and take action at the next court meeting.
Mainly, we're looking at the 24-month problem.
Yes, ma'am.
And that really, that bid, once you added the 30,000 plus, looks a lot better.
It's a little easier to live with. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We have a motion to
I
table.
motion to second.
We have a motion, we have a second to table
I agree.
till possibly next.
Because all of a sudden, this
Here's,
looks better.
okay, so since we got discussion now, my concern is, if our next meeting could be 3 or 4 weeks away, or, if we move our next meeting.
Right.
And then these 30-day quotes are not valid, I don't know. And if they rebid them, then we've already discussed the bids openly.
Mm-hmm.
So if this has to be rebid,
How many days are between now and then?
We're scheduled the 14th, I know it's on the motion to move it.
21 days.
but these bids was on the 18th and the 21st, so we gotta go from that.
What date are we proposing to meet?
That's a good point.
The motion, the proposed would be moving the February 14th to February 16th.
That's still before, our court meeting is still before those dates, right?
Yes.
But it's proposed to be moved.
Yeah, but
That's
16th.
if we propose to move from the 14th to the 16th.
That was a concern I had.
I don't mind a bit to get on the phone right now and see what I can get done.
Well, let's
We got a motion
There's a motion on the
second
table, yeah.
floor, so we would have to vote on that, just to be
Right.
straight.
Right.
But I would vote no on that and just let you go back and make another phone call and come back
Or we can,
Yes, sir.
10 minutes
We
later.
can, we'll just,
I'll rescind it until the end of the meeting, how about that?
until he makes the phone call.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with
The
that.
motion been rescinded to the last item on our agenda.
I'll get on it.
Make another phone call, tell them get their heart right.
Yes, sir. I'll do it.
Thank you. That Jesus moment. real quick.
All right. Item number 7, discuss the contract for outdoor emergency warning system throughout Logan County. These are the 5 CALS units that we have. I learned what CALS was finally, Community Outdoor Warning System. Wasn't really sure. What this is basically, we've got 2 bids, and for these 5 units, you should have those in your packet. These 2 bids are to a yearly or an annual maintenance fee per unit, plus an hourly rate for any repair that must be done on those units.
So this come out of the minutes from 2006?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how y'all find that stuff. How y'all find that stuff?
They
in
asked
2006?
Siri.
Y'all go
Hey,
through
Siri.
all the
That's
books.
what it is.
Hey, when you have an Amanda and a Joe, you can find that stuff
That's
easy.
impressive, it is. I look at these and think, wow, good job, guys.
Okay.
But these,
We own it.
what brought this to conversations after we figured out there wasn't any annual maintenance being done, and the last drill we had failure in a couple of the units. So what we're trying to do is get in front of that.
What are we looking at?
We're look-
What are the
It's-
2 quotes?
The 2 quotes are, one's from Grounded, the other one's from Paul's Electric.
You've got.
Okay, there's the,
There's 2 different sets of quotes there, I
there's
apologize.
some stuff at the archives.
Yeah, the archives, that's the next,
So grounded is 3250.
Yes.
they are $32.50, and then, I think it was $100 per hour labor rate on any repair made.
So, communication-wise, how are these communicated? Is it through the radio system?
We can set it off and, we have, just like we set the pagers off. That's how it's set off. And then I know that the other departments like Russell City, Adairsville, all of them can manually set their own off if they need to.
So there are some technical parts of this SCAO system. And we're looking at hiring an electrician to work on
It
it.
has to be an electrician to work on that,
Got to be a certified electrician.
certified electrician.
With that being said, Paul's Electric actually installed the one at Adderville. That, I don't know if you saw my note on there, that was what that meant.
Which, are you?
And Russell too, that I've talked before.
So the electric company also knows how to, deal with technical issues, to check that out, like the communication,
That's
radio.
what we'll use Derek still on that end, on our end. We have to use
Are we asking Derek to do additional work, or is that part of his?
part of his,
I guess that would fall under the blanket of.
Yeah, that's part of Derek's as far as the technical side. Derek refuses to touch it because he doesn't have his electrical license that is required to do the electrical side of this.
I mean, he told us exactly what was wrong with it. Derek did, but he couldn't fix it.
Yes.
Because he's not an electrician.
Because he's not a licensed electrician.
One of my concerns is yearly enough? I mean, I know we're not been doing nothing, but is that enough? I mean,
We are gonna have me and Derek.
This that was passed in 2006,
That was way before.
next to the last sentence, says monthly testing of system will be held on the first Saturday of each month at 12 noon.
yeah, so as far
See,
as,
this is all news to me.
I think,
Right time.
Before we go down.
So
So we
if
are
that-
supposed to be testing these monthly on the first Saturday of each month at 12 noon. And in March, the system will be tested during the statewide tornado drill.
Now, did we do that?
Okay.
Do you?
so you can go down there and you can press a button and say, oh, there's Lewisburg, it's working.
We can't set one off.
You set them all off.
They all go off. I was like, I can't just set Adderville's off. Now, we can with a portable, Derek can do just one, but we have to set them all off at once.
And how do you just have to ask somebody if they heard it, or?
Oh, they tell us if they don't hear it, and they usually will call in there and ask us what we got going on. It never fails. We've always had
Who?
issues.
I mean, like,
People,
Constituent, I mean, just.
I just feel like that's like not a very good test.
well, I would say with the radio communications they have over the county with the fire departments and whatnot, they will warn them that they're about to go off so that they'll know. I would think that would be
that's what we would do,
Correct.
just like when we're testing pagers and stuff like that. I usually use Russell City a lot to test pagers because there's always somebody there. So,
When I was,
I'm right in your space.
when I was a kid, we lived right beside it, and the fire alarm would go off. We was on our bikes, and we was fixing to see whose house was burning down. They don't do that no more. I guess because you got papers.
Russell City still has the whistle that goes off.
When you're
Yeah, I mean,
running the
I
mail
can
out.
check Daryl's work, so I can
Jason's
get
hot
it loud and
dogs
clear
and
at my house.
marshmallows.
So you have like someone particular, like fire departments, that will tell you, I heard this, my city's.
We'll let them know that we're gonna do it and ask him to let us know.
Ginger, I would think, let's go back to 2006 and then we can get back to this Paul's Electrical and grounded. So I would think if we assume we should be doing monthly
Yes.
testing, which I think we should.
Right.
I think between maybe now and next court meeting, not asking you to do it today, but next court meating that you just
Test them just to see.
The
Well,
first
no, but
Saturday.
you give us an SOP of how that's going to, what that's going to look like. And I'm like Tyler, I don't like the idea that I'm going to test it and then, trust me, people are going to call. I think we should be calling somebody at each
Agreed.
location to
Agreed.
say, hey, I need you to report back. We're going to do this Saturday at 12 o'clock. I need you to report back to me that you heard it. You know, that way you can say,
And law enforcement, I can have somebody tell me at each.
well, it needs to be somebody that you can check off, that you say,
But I mean, I have an officer go out there, or I can call Dan and he will let me know.
hold on,
Well,
Can you put, oh, go ahead.
you're not listening.
with that,
You know,
with,
it has to be somebody that you can check off and you say, and it can be somebody different every month, but if you're putting that call out and you say, Tyler Davenport, you're gonna tell me if the one in Chandler's went off. I don't even know if there's one in Chandler.
no.
And, you know, Tyler says, yes, I'll do that. Boom, you set it off. I mean, this takes all of 5 minutes, you know. Tyler calls you back or texts you back, yes, I heard it. You can check that box off. And then, you know, that's just a monthly reporting accountability.
With
That way, if somebody comes back to us and there is an event, and you know, somebody, you know,
With-
gets hurt or the property gets damaged and they're fussing at us because it wasn't, we can at least say we tested it. you know,
Absolutely.
And we have accountability.
And with
it
that
was
being
properly
said,
checked off.
my apologies, and with that being said, we need on that SOP, we need to know when we shouldn't set it off. If we've got bad weather in the area, we probably do not need to be setting
Put
those
that as
off.
part of, you know, y'all, whenever somebody calls in, can you put that as part of your, what do you call it?
Log.
They're your logs that y'all do all the time?
Yeah.
What's that called?
A CAD.
Your CAD. You do a CAD for a test?
And I can just, I'll call ahead and find different fire chiefs or people like that to let.
Volunteer fire departments, I mean, there's
Somebody.
tons of
Absolutely.
people that we could just
That,
say,
you
give
know,
us
people
a,
that I trust are gonna tell me, you
Yeah.
know. But,
it's just five, right?
Mhm.
Just 5 people, just
So-
call 5 people and say, it's going off this Saturday at 12 o'clock.
and we'll just,
We only got 4 signed.
Why does it just say, why are we bidding 5?
I don't know, it just says ownership of 4.
that we put it.
Well,
in
we put in-
Well,
Yeah.
there's a fifth one being added.
Sayreville was added
Lewisburg, Auburn,
since 2006.
and then the 2 in Russellville. And we are trying to get.
But you are correct, in 2006, there was only 4.
So
Oh,
back to
no,
this, is this necessary right now?
Well, I think that's really good. If you
Well,
could
something's
just
broken.
let us know next meeting.
Yeah, so let's fix that.
Why don't I just call them and
Let you know they heard it. We're not trying to add more to your job.
Oh, that's okay.
But that would be something we
Well,
can
it
say
adds
she's
a whole,
got.
I mean, I would rather know ahead of time.
So there is
than
some
be like
batteries
the
up there that
worst.
check the batteries.
It's good.
They're checking.
To do an annual.
I mean, there's a lot of things for sisters with rights.
That's not too bad.
You know, I can.
Make sure the battery backups are working, make sure the connections are good.
Do what now? We'll take care of all of it. That's why we know they're being taken
Next
care of.
meeting, that she has contacted
We,
someone,
right
probably a
now,
fire chief or
we've
someone in
been
the
trying
city
to figure it
government
out.
who would tell
Well,
her
right
they
now,
heard
we
that
own
sound, and that would be a
the
checklist
fire department.
for us.
If these haven't
Bring
been,
it to the next meeting.
if these haven't been maintained since 2011, I think it's time we actually send somebody out there to look at each one and verify connections,
I'm just
battery
figuring it out. It's one of
backups.
those things
I'm
that
fine
we're
with
supposed to
doing
do.
that, but maybe not a yearly deal. Maybe,
we just put it there.
so going forward, if there's an issue with one and it's out of Derek's realm to fix it, can he just not use an outside vendor to fix it and just channel everything through him or not? It would be the same as if he had to order a part for a,
I'm saying like to take whoever we award this to, they just become his contract person for.
well, I mean, whoever it is. I mean, he could, if Paul's not available, he can use the next guy if it's something electrical wise. But, you know, Derek can do that at his discretion. It'd be the same if he had to order a radio for a cruiser. I mean, that don't come to us. He just does it. And, I mean, that gets,
Put that more under the umbrella of maintenance.
yeah.
So are you saying just want to do a one-time on this and then revisit it next year possibly?
Well, yeah, because if we do this one time and then on her test drills the first Saturday of every month, what if 4 months from now an issue comes up? Then what do we do?
So I think we need to have a conversation with Derek, just see if he will, as part of his contract, just do a visual check on some things and not, and you know, and at that point, if there seems to be an issue, he can say, hey, y'all, there's an electrical issue, I can't work on it because I'm not a certified electrician. You know, well, maybe we have a conversation with Derek, and then you're going to come back with some kind of SOP to tell us. I mean, I think it's probably okay to go ahead and do it this time and look at it, and then, but maybe, I think we need to have a conversation with Derek as far as moving forward, if he'll make that part of his, or if it is part of his contract, since the radio sends it off, you know. Maybe we can talk to him and see if he can do a spot check every quarter or something to check on it. And then,
What you're saying for now, let's go ahead and approve the one time,
one time.
get an electrician to check all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And report back to us.
What any issues or.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Well, that if it hadn't been checked in that many years, you know, connections, battery backup, all the thing, there could be stuff that we're missing that's called, they're working now, but tomorrow,
But now going forward with that monthly check, we're gonna be on top of it.
absolutely.
Does it say in here who financially is responsible for them?
We own them.
We own them?
Yes.
Because I know,
We,
well, I know when Auburn called me about his. He just told me, he said, we'll go ahead and fix it and then we'll figure it out later because it needs to be fixed. But
Right.
I just didn't know.
It's county property.
Is it all county?
The county's taking
Okay.
on, the one at Adairsville, they actually installed themselves, but they
Mhm.
haven't been maintaining it, and basically it's been turned over to us.
So I just got one more question, then I'm ready to vote on this and roll on. Can you hear from every corner in Logan County? Can you hear one of these?
No.
No.
They are working on, we've looked at some different, I know, Russell told me that he was working on one around out 96 somewhere, that they were trying to get one put in out there. But I don't know who's contacted him about that, because I know the county hasn't.
I feel like Chandler's is a dead spot.
Yeah, we don't have.
It absolutely is.
And there's a heavy population up there. I'm surprised
Mhm.
they don't have.
Well, I mean, that's
Plus
where
we've
the,
been hit by a tornado twice now.
and so has 96, you know,
Limited
so.
wind direction,
Mhm.
dictates that.
Absolutely.
The sound.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was just a thought.
But I think that, you know, eventually we need to have more.
You might not
That's
hear it
just,
one time, the next time you hear it.
Mhm.
you
Shoot,
know,
get a quote on one. I'd like to know how much they are.
Change that
no
wind
idea.
direction from west to
I
east.
think the school
Mhm.
system probably
I
open
can
here,
do one
put
at my
one in
house.
school
Yeah,
or something.
I'm on the west side of my house.
Tyler, did you
Or
say go
side.
ahead and have somebody look at the maintenance on them
I
now?
think so.
And then set up a schedule at the next
of course, I'm lucky, I'm right
There's
down from the fire
Have a
department, so
discussion
I
with
hear
Derek,
it.
who's already in contract to monitor and maintain our radio system.
He's
And
hired by the county.
He's hired
to
by
do
the
that.
county to do that yearly. We pay him yearly to do that. We put it out for bid yearly. He's been awarded twice. But I think, you know, we have a discussion with him and see if he will do a quarterly check just to make sure that
I think quarterly sounds good.
communication wise, and see if he'll be okay with that. And then if he sees any issue, then
He's also working on
from there we
this
can get
generator,
somebody
so he can
to,
get
I don't
on the
know if
generator.
$2,500 a year is necessary if we had Derek to do a spot check every quarter.
Okay, that's
Derek-
what my
Derek's-
question was.
Yeah, but I think the $2,500 to go ahead and,
I think it's
do
worth
it
something
now,
investing
check
in for
all
right now
five,
till we
make
figure
sure
it out,
everything's
because
cool.
sounds
So
like
I'll
they're
put
pretty
that
far
for
out
a
of date.
motion to approve to check out and just to make sure everything, connections are good at each site.
This is a one-time.
Just a one-time. Of course, I mean, he's already done the one, so I don't.
But that's the one that's got
No,
issues.
no, he hasn't. Did he? Did he?
He's went down there, I think Auburn contacted him. I know me and Derek went down there, and
Okay.
Derek determined what was wrong with it, but of course we couldn't fix it.
I don't know. Maybe we need to requote this. And just maintain the ones that are already been maintained. This is $2,500 to do all five.
I mean, I know that, we know Adairsville's is in good shape because it's new, but
I mean, he's gonna go he's gonna do the same legwork at a new one versus an old one because he's gonna check the same thing. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
Right, and just because he fixed that one spot doesn't mean he looked over the complete unit, and I'm just putting
I
that
don't,
out
I mean,
there.
I didn't go with him when he did this one. But I just,
or we could
I'd like to just
not-
get ahead of it,
we just
however we're
table
gonna do
Let
it.
her do her, ask Derek and, I don't know.
I mean, I can have Derek come to court next time, whatever y'all need me to do.
I'll call Derek today and just ask him.
Tyler said he would come out and maintain them.
No, I didn't.
You made the motion, so you need to.
He said he'd climb that.
You said you put it to the form of a motion.
Yeah, I'm gonna rescind that motion.
Okay.
Somebody else might wanna make it, I don't know. I just don't think we're ready to, I don't think we're ready to do this.
So I'll have, before we come to next court meeting, an SOP on testing and all that. That way we'll know and we'll have something going. And I mean, I might be reaching out to one of y'all to help me.
And maybe go
one
ahead and
month.
do a test before the next court meeting.
Yeah, I'll do it before the next court, well, if we're doing it the first Saturday of the
That's true,
month.
that's
Yeah,
true.
it'll be.
We'll have it. But, I mean, during, we probably will forego the one in March because we will already do the statewide one. And it never fails when the statewide comes through. It's always right after we've had storms, so we always have to delay it.
Right.
But, because anytime we've had storms in the area, you set it off a couple of days later and everybody freaks out.
I think we also need to get this in the paper, on the radio, on the Facebook pages and
Yeah,
whatnot. of-
'cause
of
we can all
warning
share
the
it.
county what's
Warning
going
them
on.
that's going on.
That's right.
Of course, we have other, we have other procedures if we do set it off for reasons, like we call the nursing homes, the hospitals and stuff like that, so they know when it's real. But
I don't think, I mean, we might still do some maintenance program or something, but I just don't think we're ready today to make that decision without talking to Derek.
Do y'all hear, anybody who's listening, I can't remember, I think it's just sirens, you don't hear our voice, because we say it's a test, but you don't hear the voice. So,
You good with
Just
that,
hear the
Judge?
sound.
Just
Absolutely,
put this off? Okay. Do we
absolutely.
need a
That's the
motion
favor of
to
the
table
court.
it?
I'm happy with it. We'll table it.
It's
and-
on the agenda. Oh, it says discuss. Okay.
well then I will get moving on my part, be ready for y'all next court. If y'all need anything, let me know.
Okay, we'll table that item and then come back to that. Are we ready?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's bring the ambulance back one more time.
Tell us something good.
Well, I have to sit down. Make another call and say something good.
I contacted the vendor again, and he said with all due respect, he wouldn't want to promise you guys anything he couldn't deliver. He said it's taken him 14 months or more to get chassis, and he can't start the remount process till he gets the chassis. He said, so that 24 months is something that he wouldn't feel comfortable.
Changing.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't think we can risk having 2 old vehicles on the road for 2 years. In my personal opinion, I think we'll have to pay the premium of availability maybe. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
It's a tough call for sure.
As long as that 90-day deal is legit, I mean, it has to be, I guess.
Yeah, 60
it's part of the
days.
bid, so.
It is. Yes, sir.
So we can't reuse the cot that we have?
Well, I was going to say, there are recertified cot options out there and things like that. I could explore those in the meantime and try to get that.
The one we currently have, is it out of date or end of life?
It is no longer covered by the manufacturer.
Okay.
They recommend replacing it.
Okay.
It is functioning properly at this time.
I wish I could do that with the roof. Could I
I'm
start
telling
doing
you,
that with the roof?
it's
I just say,
it's a little bit of a racket.
They no longer are certified by me, so I'd recommend you replace them. I hate those statements. You know. And I think most homeowners do. I use it till it breaks and it's time to replace it, but I guess a little different here.
Well, somebody's life's dependent on it.
Well, it's a cot, it's a hydraulic up, down. I mean, it's not like the cot's gonna fall into 10 pieces and roll somebody off the cot. It may
Lord willing.
stop.
I hope not.
I've seen that on
I hope
Picking
not.
up something.
Yeah, you probably did, yeah.
Back in the day, I can remember cots where they didn't have all that, and you pick them up.
Absolutely.
and
We still have a few of those.
So,
Yep.
I get it, but I'm not so sure how bad it needs to be
Now,
replaced anyway.
making sure I understand this, we still have 2 functioning ambulances that can be dependable.
More than 2.
No.
Probably 6.
Yeah, we have 6 ambulances, yes, ma'am.
So can we just
On top of,
just approve the remount, and then in the future, you just bring some quotes to us on that stuff, and,
yes, sir.
I mean,
Yeah, I think.
As quoted, the full 145.
How often do we remount?
We're gonna do like 1 a year, or 1 every other year.
Yeah, probably every other or every 3rd year.
this
I'm
is the
trying to
second
think.
one since I've,
We
Oh,
were, yeah,
I'm trying to think
our initial,
twice.
our initial plan was we would skip every 5th year. For every 4 years, we would do something. And at the beginning, that needed to be a new ambulance, but we replaced those ambulances with these bronze boxes that can be remounted for this specific reason, to save money to do that. This specific truck, actually, we repowered
That's right.
in 2018. So we actually put a new motor in this truck, trying to make it last a little bit longer. So the vehicle itself's got 385,000 miles on it right now, but it had a new motor in 2018. So we were just trying to
Yeah.
be as responsible as we could with what we had.
Okay,
You got to pay for
gotta,
it.
you gotta fund that too, so you need $60,000 more.
just make necessary budget transfers.
From occupational.
Where's the money coming from? Just occupational
On that
tax?
product.
Okay. All right,
I hope they don't need that thing.
I'll make a motion to approve SIV's bid of $145,909 and to allow the judge's office to make the necessary budget transfers from the occupational tax line item.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Any more discussion? Just out of curiosity, what about the cot and
We're just
amount?
gonna-
We're just gonna hold off on that for
Well,
now.
he'll bring us some quotes.
Okay, perfect,
I'll
perfect.
explore all the
But you're
options
gonna
and see
take the
what we can.
145K bid.
That award's based on the understanding of the delivery.
Mainly 60 to 90 days versus 24 months.
Plus it's some
It is.
Well, it says ready to start immediately, so they'll start on it as
They
soon as.
have a chassis. If you read that quote.
They do.
Yes.
They physically have that chassis in possession versus the other company doesn't have. They may have some, but they're already committed to other people. But
And just for the information of the court, and hopefully maybe a little hope moving forward, the issue with the ambulance chassis is, even though they look like something you'd find on a personal vehicle, the VIN number is actually specific to the ambulance because they have to have heavier suspension, things like that. So those chassis have to be made specifically for an ambulance box to be put on them, and that's limited, obviously, because you sell far more personal vehicles than you do ambulances. I sit on our state board of EMS, and we've recently sent a few letters to the governor asking for help to get more of those chassis available in the Commonwealth. So hopefully this won't be an issue next year. Hopefully, but we're doing our best.
Okay. Any more discussion? If not, roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Logan,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Baker.
Yes.
Sorry for all the complications, but I appreciate the court's time.
Thank you.
Those as well. Yeah, no problem. I know you do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Discuss quotes for updating lighting at the Logan County Archives building. In front of you, you should have two quotes. This is to replace all the current lighting, which is fluorescent, in the what I would consider the old jail, with LED. This is every light in that whole area. There are 20 total.
20 total.
And of those 20 total, I think only about 13 maybe are 14 maybe are
At this
working.
time.
Something in
At
that.
this time, yes.
This quote is just, as I said, to swap them over to LED. Three of the lights are, I hate to use the word impossible, but very challenging to receive. Well, yeah,
Just two of
two.
them,
I was counting that third one. Two of the lights are very challenging to get to. And if we're going to be up there changing, let's change
The
those.
two that Judge is talking about, they are on the western side of the building where there's not a second-story floor. So they are at the very top at the ceiling. So it's not quite as high as this ceiling here, but it's pretty close. It requires creative.
That's a good word. Very creative
It requires
structuring.
creative structuring to reach those two lights.
Ladder?
A bit more than a ladder, yeah.
Scaffolding?
And probably even a ladder on top of the
Well,
scaffolding.
one of these
It's-
says 20 and one of them says 16.
Well, it says down here in the verbiage though, 20. I saw what you saw too, but in the description there it says 20.
When
So
I,
it's just a misprint.
I guess that's just a code.
when I counted, there are 9 lights on the lower level and there are 11 on the upper level.
So I was just wondering why one was
Right.
different. All right.
I make a motion to approve the quote from Ground Electric LLC to replace lights to LED, 20 existing fixtures for a total cost of $1,600.
second,
Okay, I have a motion second. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Abstain.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Awesome, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Did you have a reason?
That my brother owns that company.
Oh, that kind of would do it. I was gonna say there was $1,000 difference.
All right, let's keep moving. Approve the application for federal assistance SF 424 to increase the award for the Motts Lick Creek debris removal project and allow Judge Baker to sign. I think that's just basically signing the assistance.
If y'all don't want an explanation, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Now you can explain if you want to.
We've
been talking about this.
Oh, yeah, this is
4
crazy.
years.
December 10th, the tornado come through a year and 3 months ago, or 2
Right.
months ago. Anyway, the government, there's a program that's gonna help to clean up some debris in a creek. and it's 2,600 linear foot. Well, at first they was going to award us 38,000 to have it done, but then the bid come in at higher than that, so now they're going back and upping their money to refund us the 49,000. Correct?
Correct.
And this is to clean up in your district where the
Yes.
tornado?
Yeah, it's
A creek.
It's a creek.
It's a creek.
So that's why the government's involved, because it's an obstruction of a waterway.
The waterway makes the government involved.
And those permits were mailed off last week for state Corps
Thank you for explaining.
Division of Water permits.
and the Army Corps.
Okay.
It's been crazy.
We get a motion in a second.
motion in a second.
Okay, I thought we did. I just wasn't, you made it easy on me. I appreciate that. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. The next item is to approve the service contract for the from Horner Services for the Mott's Leak debris removal. This is just a contract. They won the initial bid, and this is just a contract from them.
And this Horner company out of North Carolina, Georgia?
Georgia.
Okay. They are doing $985,000 worth of the same work in Muhlenberg County. The exact same tornado, or same storm system.
Right.
And it was like 13 locations versus our one location.
Right.
And they got the bid for that, so they're here
It's the
working.
bid y'all opened on the last of December.
Yes. Oh, the one that had $1.7 million or something?
Yeah.
Correct. This is that same.
Okay.
Yeah. I almost
This
fell out
is
of my
just all
chair.
the stuff that we're gonna do, right?
Yeah, that's just the agreement between, I guess, the government, whoever,
It
whatever.
would actually be between, I assume, between us and them. That's just basically
The
the
government's paying it.
contract.
Yeah, they're paying it, they're the one that spec'd it out, and
I think
What was the cost?
it's at the very last page.
49,491.
Make a motion to approve the service contract from Horner Services for the Mott's Leak Creek debris removal project.
Second.
We gotta do the contract as well.
Okay.
The first one was something else.
The first one was the assistance, and this is the actual contract with Horner.
I waited on you for a while.
I've got a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion?
Just to accept the bid.
But this basically is the bid, or the contract. Is that right?
Well, so we voted to accept the bid, and since the bid was higher than what they had allotted it for, then we had to, number 9, approve the application for the federal money. And then this is, now since the bid's in place, this is the service contract between, and I guess this is, well, we're considered,
So this is just really almost a repeat of what you've already approved, right? You approved the bid, you just approved them to sign the contract.
That's right.
yeah.
Okay.
This is an agreement between Logan County and Horner.
Because the state's involved, it's almost.
NRC has asked for a contract from Horner to get it started, and they also asked for the approval of the upping the money, but they needed a contract from Horner to get started. So I think they have approved, like, ready to go.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes?
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
I guess that worked. I have to wait for those to come in, though, right?
Okay, next item, approve the reappointment of Nathan Thomas to the Local Board of Assessment Appeals for a 2-year term ending December the 31st of 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Quick.
Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item 12, approve the reappointment of Wallace Harper to the North Logan Water Commission Board for a 2-year term ending July the 2nd of 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Who made the motion?
I made the
Tyler.
motion. Jason second.
Jason seconded.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
I abstain on that. I abstain on that one,
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
You on that?
All right, approve the reappointment of S.C. Smotherman to the North Logan Water Commission Board for a 4-year term ending August the 10th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Do I have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Abstain.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
We can do that.
I don't know. I've read so many of these. I don't know. Approve the reappointment of Tim Barr to the North Logan Water Commission Board for a 3-year term ending July the 28th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Abstain.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Thank you, by the way. Approve the appointment of Marie Gamble and Trevor Brown to the Human Rights Commission Board for a 3-year term ending January 24, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item 16, approve the appointment of Tanita? Sure, Yarbrough, I'm sorry?
Tanita.
Okay, Tanita Yarbrough to the Human Rights Commission Board for a 2-year term ending January 24th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. 17, acknowledge the reappointments to the Logan Health Board ending January 31st, 2024. There's a list in front of you.
So
I'm
moved.
on there. I don't vote for I'm on there, right?
Three.
There, your end date, you are on your, so your end date is different from theirs. I don't know how it goes.
I was gonna say, that's interesting.
Why don't you off with it?
I have a motion. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
What is it, Tyler?
We're acknowledging the reappointments?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of times they want to stagger people coming off, so you don't have a brand new set of people.
Everybody at the same time type thing.
Correct.
Okay.
I made a motion. I just now realized that acknowledgement, whatever.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
It's getting impressive.
Somebody second? No, I don't think so.
No.
Jason?
Jason Harper, second. Any discussion?
I'm gonna see if Thomas says.
Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, 18, public road hearing for the purpose of adding 1,205 foot to Coles Road in the Logan County road system.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion?
Kelly, Rudy.
Yes, yeah. I brought that to the
This is,
last meeting, the evaluation.
this is
You
your.
just probably need to note that
Coles Road.
nobody was here
Right.
in the public to
I don't see.
say they were for or against. You know, that's, when you have a road hearing.
Yes,
just,
sir.
You know, somebody is up there talking, but I've only one time had somebody come up there talk about it. Twice, twice.
Okay.
For a public road hearing, but you do need to
Do-
acknowledge nobody was here.
Oh,
Hey, can I just ask, not specific to it is sort of specific, but it's just sort of going forward. But what about the aspect of having roads with such common names? Because there's a Cole Road, and now this is going to be Cole's Road, right? Does
Ginger?
There's a lot of roads like that.
and I just
I try now, you know, if there's a new road coming through and I have to name it, I check everything to make sure it doesn't. But we have several white roads that are like William White or Johnson White and just different things like that. There's a lot of them. We have a Martin, everybody says they live on Martin Road in Auburn and also in Adairsville, but it's different. So I've tried to catch anything like that now. Of course, some of these have been there for so long.
well, I guess that's sort of what I was wondering is like, does it need to be Mark Cole's Road or does something need to be differentiated?
Well, that way, it makes it a whole lot, it makes it really hard for responders too. I mean, if you're thinking about it. And then it does make it hard on people with their addresses getting their packages, because that's what upsets people the most about their addresses right
What's
now.
the zip code for this road?
Lewisburg.
It's Lewisburg.
But at this point, that is the name of the road where they're getting packages, correct?
Mhm. I mean, we run into a lot of issues like that. I've caught a lot of them.
Where is that?
7 miles.
It's
north
right
of
across
us.
from Chapel Woodworking, basically.
Okay.
But he couldn't add an initial or anything to that now without going all the way through it.
We'd have to change the whole name of the road, and
I
everybody,
was gonna say, I don't.
we'd
it
have
was
to
a
have
good
another hearing to
recommendation.
change the name of the road, and everything would have to be changed through our system.
Yeah. It's not gonna be easy to
Post
fix.
office. I mean, it's not an easy fix, but
Well, I was saying like for this road in particular,
Directly across from.
is it already got this name? Or is it not named till we?
It don't have, it don't have it.
it doesn't have a name. Who named it? That one?
He just, that was the
landowner?
people's suggestion.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not.
It's not in our system. This one would
No,
not be
so
in our
this-
system yet.
So right now, their address, there's whatever, the 3 or 4 houses back there, their addresses are Morgantown Road. There's
Mhm.
4 or 5 mailboxes or
So
whatever.
let's rename that road.
I agree with Chris.
Now's
Chris's
the time
idea
to
is
do it.
exactly
I wouldn't
right.
want to rename it in this setting right now. I would like to talk to the people that live back there.
Well, anytime in the past that we've done this, they've had to go through addressing to get it done,
Would there be a huge
to
problem
change.
to pass at a meeting and get them to come up with a new name that Ginger can approve?
Just tabling this
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
new name, I wouldn't think so.
I mean, that would.
Mhm. Of course, if it's a private, it's gonna have a different color sign, but still.
The road.
Tell me
is
that,
not
what you're
private road.
suggesting real quick.
Basically, hold off on this meeting to the February date so he can go back to them and get a new name that Ginger.
We'd have to re-advertise
Really need to
though.
go kinky.
We'd have to,
No, I mean,
because this is a
that's
road
legit.
hearing.
Y'all just keep on
This
making me
date
have
right
work
here is
today.
an
I
advertised
get
date.
that.
What is
but I
up with
don't
that?
know how we hold the hearing and not select the name.
Can we not have,
We
can we
can
not
just-
finish this process today?
Are there any-
under
And then
Old
change it?
Road, and then next court meeting, rename it?
I think we would need to have the hearing and have it, and then just say we're going to change it at the next court meeting, maybe do that instead. That's why the public was told to be here today, so I think we need to hold it today. We won't order the signs or do
Is there anybody
anything until after the
who
next
lives on the
court
road?
So you're saying proceed
Yes.
with this,
But then just
with the
have a-
understanding that we're gonna rename it
Yeah,
at next
name
court
change
meeting?
hearing next.
It's like a hotel in there.
That's what it
Well,
looks like.
mainly because of
Since
what
it's
she said, it
the fact
causes
that it
problems.
is a advertised
That's a
meeting, that's
very
why.
valid
Yes, it
deal.
is.
And honestly, I should have went to Ginger first.
Forgot
Yeah, you
me.
should have.
I forgot you.
You sure should have.
That's when I saw it today, I was sort
Yeah.
of confused, I was like, Cole Road,
Let's
that's
be
like out
fair,
here.
Chris should have brought this
Yeah.
up last
There's
court
one,
meeting.
there's a coal road off Cemetery Road.
Just get with me, Jason.
We'll
You know where to
make
find
it
me,
right there.
and we'll get it figured out.
Sharon.
All right, so let's,
So you're saying approve the road and just leave it?
Thomas's point is not to have to
Re-advertise.
re-advertise, so
Yeah,
with
so
the-
name to be determined?
Well, I think
approve
we
it
just
as this with the name.
approve it as
Approve it as-
tentatively named Coles
Just do
Road,
it
just put
in
it.
Coles for now, if they don't like that.
Okay.
We didn't
I think you
advertise
need to
it as that.
change it to 1, 2, 3, ABC. I mean, I'm like, Chris, man, I hate those.
It's confusing.
How many rental roads have you
Oh
got?
my gosh, in Lewis, in Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Lawrence is a mess. People don't know which one they're
Never
on.
favored
And of course, those have been there for a long time. Thankful to my family, I guess.
There's a Coal Road, that's single AL, and there's a Coal Bank Road.
In
You don't gotta
Todd
look at
County.
the end of it, you just gotta see which initial it is.
Okay.
Because I know we have a, James Coles.
Yeah.
It's on
And-
Cemetery
That's what I
Road.
was thinking of.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do whatever y'all need
Call
me to
it
do.
Beaver
We'll-
Creek, we don't have a Beaver Creek.
Possum trot.
Anything.
We'll
Except
just-
a person's name.
See, I can't name it after my kids because we already have all them names. So.
Don't ever name nothing
So
after that.
the
No.
motion needs to be what?
Hudson Road.
We've got a motion on the table
We can't name it Harper either,
to
can we?
accept as
Jimmy Harper.
as is.
And then we can,
And we got.
Yes.
Except the
I know
road,
you got a big old road all to
uh,
yourself,
That
huh?
is currently identified as whatever road.
Coles Road.
With
Did we advertise it as Coles Road?
tentatively to rename
I didn't
it
even know that was
at a
happening.
future date.
Okay, sounds good.
That's what your motion was, right?
His motion was to.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
what Joe Ross just said, that was your motion?
Yes.
We're
That
gonna
was
name it
my
Joe
motion.
Ross Lane.
Later date.
To accept and to rename at a later date.
That would keep us from having to read.
And the biggest point of what you're doing here today is
Appreciate
taking
you bringing
on
that up, Chris.
the,
That's
the responsibility of it, so I guess.
Well, I
it
was
really
working on
doesn't
the
matter
SOP.
what the
I'm glad you said something because I didn't even know what was going on.
Okay.
So we'll get
Alright.
it figured out.
We've got a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes,
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, number 19.
Hey, Judge, I'd
Yes,
like
sir.
to request a name change on the Coles Road that we just added to the road system, and that name to be determined.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Appreciate you bringing that up, Chris.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
Good point.
Okay, now discuss rescheduling the February 14th, 2023 regular scheduled fiscal court meeting. With all due respect, that my daughter is in cheer competition and we won't be back until sometime mid-morning. And I would appreciate the court moving that possibly to the 16th, which is a Thursday.
Make a motion to reschedule February 14th, 2023 meeting to February 16th, 2023,
Can you give me just a second before y'all get a second?
9 a.m.
February. Okay. Yeah. Second.
Okay, there we go. We have a motion and a second. It's been a long morning. Do we have any discussion? I appreciate it, and roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilczek,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes, and we will make sure that the public knows about that. Do we have any reason for executive session?
Not unless you want to take that up or just do it.
Let's do it.
I had one thing kind of come in late last week, and one would be more informative, but also kind of a big deal that I got in an email where they were requesting some information from us. Solar Farm is asking us to maybe come up with some names of banks, local banks, titles companies, or other financial institutions that we would feel comfortable allowing the decommissioning bonds be placed with. So I don't know that I want to speak for you all on that or specifically have an answer. If that is something you all have feelings on, I would be open for input on that. Personally, I guess typically I would normally defer to our local banks, any of them that I would trust any of them if they felt like they were equipped and willing to do it. So I can pass that on. In that same email, though, they advised that apparently the state did not accept the pilot agreement arrangement to where those funds would be deferred at the state level. If you'll recall, they were contingent upon the money that was going to be spent on the pilot agreement was what they were going to be saving at the state level. So basically, the solar company and the fiscal court and the schools would share in that. So because the state did not proceed as expected on that, the solar company, I guess, will just have to pay the normal taxes. So I reached out to ask for some more explanation of why that would occur, because I even know when I was assisting Judge Chick with the Public Service Commission, that was one of the things that they looked at. So I believe the Public Service Commission expected that would be a part of it. So I don't really have a whole lot of information, but I wanted to get that to you all as quickly as possible. So two parts of that.
So you're telling me there's no pilot agreement now?
Right.
Okay, so, yeah, something crazy happened because all the other solar farms that I know of the pilot agreement has been approved.
Well, it's not that the pilot agreement, but the basic purpose of the pilot agreement that the state was going to waive their taxes, that part did not occur.
Well, I'm saying the people that I've talked to that's gone through the same thing, they're receiving their pilot payment, so apparently the state approved.
Right. I mean, and that's what everybody was saying up until that point.
But they didn't approve it.
They were not going to allow that on this.
So then that kills the industrial revenue bonds.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But you get the taxes that would normally be coming in.
So
they're on their own now.
But I don't understand why they're coming to us wanting advice on.
Because we are a company that is insured on that as well, so that we can make sure when the project shuts down, we can enforce the bonds. So they're doing that as a positive, wanting us to have input onto that.
And giving our local banks the ability to.
That would be my thought, but I don't know if you all have any who you would think. I don't. Are you?
Well, I mean, my first answer would be, well, actually, my first answer, unless you have to know now, I would maybe do a little research and make a recommendation next court meeting.
Yeah.
But if time is of the essence, you know, I guess I would start with the banks that we currently do business with, which is First Southern National Bank.
I'm fine however you all want to do it. They did not indicate that time was of the essence. If I go back to them and find that out, I guess we could work under that arrangement. But I guess I specifically was looking at you to somewhat on that, because I know the people who do projects in your area oftentimes have to have bond companies, and that this is an issue that was close to your heart. So I know you were very happy to know we were going to be secondary insured along with those landowners. So if you,
all that talk is just.
I can't get past that. I can't get past the 2 years of negotiating this pilot program.
Yeah.
Not even. I can't even think about the decommission.
Well, it's two different subject matters at hand. I know. I'm
Why
going
did
to call
they-
them.
If they did it for other farms that have been set up in the state, why did they not?
that's where I was trying to get some more information from you all, but I also didn't want to wait 3 more weeks and not say anything at all. I wanted you all to know, but the best I can tell is the state must have changed that policy. And
After they did the others.
right.
It's pretty bad business.
But it was something to where the state was waiving their taxes, and so we were getting the benefit. Yeah.
No, we did the number.
But I hope to have more information for you later. I just did not get an explanation back. We had obviously our own legal counsel, and so I haven't heard anything from him to pass that along. But again, everybody that I had talked to basically on our side, in the middle, or on their side, expected that was going to go through. So I really don't know.
Just interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty.
$19,000 difference between property tax values as agriculture versus manufacturing. It's $19,000.
So what I'm thinking is, we don't get manufacturing.
We don't get the
equipment. We don't get the
asset
asset tax,
Right.
but the state does.
Yeah, state does. Yeah. So in essence, we get 20 grand and a little bit of occupational tax.
I was pretty shocked by that, and
We've wasted all kinds of time.
We've spent money on ordinances.
Wasted more time on that.
as to the actual issue, though, I guess I'll see if we can wait till the next court meeting, and then if not, maybe suggest we talk to the local banks, if that's good with you all.
But yeah, decommissioning is definitely something we want to make sure happens correctly, so yes.
Yeah. I think that whole deal was just.
So that will be on our agenda for next time, is that what I'm understanding?
Yes,
from you?
hopefully so.
Okay, I was gonna say, do I need to worry about that? No, wait till next time.
No, I
to
don't
worry.
think so.
Okay.
And then the other thing I have, something that Judge Baker had, I think, been thinking about earlier on, before you even took office, Amanda, and I worked on it some. If y'all can pass these out. basically, it's something for you to consider at our next meeting. There is requirements that there are 2 signatures on every check that we write. He would like to use an e-signature process, which is password protected. I was writing an analysis to give you all something to consider. It would also need to go along with our administrative code updates, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those, presuming you all are okay with it. But essentially, it would mean that people, or Judge Baker has the ability to use that, where you got to sign in and use a password, and it prints it on the check. And those are legally acceptable, and I gave some.
It's crazy. I mean, when
You can buy a house.
You got a stack of checks over there now, or did I?
Yeah, and that's what led to this discussion. When they brought me a stack of checks 3 inches tall to sign,
we can only change our admin code one time a year, or one time, so you have to do that at that time, right?
I think we can change it, but we have to present it to you every year.
The judge can request changes at any time. The fiscal court can make changes during the month of June.
Okay. I knew there was some kind of one-time deal. So we can only.
We can let them request it at the next meeting. You can put that on.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Do we have anything else on the post?
Not for me.
Is anyone else? If not, everybody's favorite time, adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'm not going to ask for discussion, so let's just get roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford, Logan,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Did you say you were going to pause?